Okay, so this chapter is all about geometry. Geometry are shapes. We are going to go through a lot of vocabulary, and you will need to know this stuff. So online guys, pause your video a lot and copy down these words. For those of you here in class, if you want to copy them down, you're more than welcome to. If you want to put it on a cheat sheet, on another sheet of paper, you're welcome to. Or every one of these definitions are in the notebook that we just put together, okay? So if you want to use those, great. They're right there. We are going to start on 11.1, which is called polygons. Over these two lessons today, there are like 22, 23, 24 different vocabulary words. You need to know the differences between them. You need to study them. You need to memorize them. Guys, they're in your notebook, or you're going to copy them down and you're going to have them as notes, but you will not be allowed to use them on your quizzes and your tests. So you have to memorize some of these things, which means you need to listen and pay attention to some of the secrets and the tricks that I tell you to help you remember some of these things, okay? So first things first, we are going to be talking about a polygon. Again, big 5th grade, weird definition, fancy word, polygon. Polygon is simple. It is a shape. Okay? You learned your shapes in kindergarten, but today we're going to call them polygons. But we're not going to be talking about just any kind of shape. Polygons have two parts. Polygons are closed shapes with no curved sides. Okay? So those are the two parts to make this a polygon. If you want to see it, it's on your page 441 at the very top up there. It's the first highlighted word, polygon. Polygon is a closed shape with no curved sides. So when you were in kindergarten, you learned, oh yeah, this is a shape. Is that a polygon for you? Is that a polygon? No. Why not? It's curved, right? Not only is it curved, I did it on purpose. It's actually open too. Okay? Closed means there are no little gaps. There are no spaces. So if I were to get a shape like this, is this a polygon?
Yes, sir.
Why? Closed? No curved lines. Then it's a shape. Then it's a polygon. Okay? What about this one? It's curved. It's closed.
Yes, curved. But it has a curve.
But it does have that curved shape, that line there. What about this one? Oh, you all learned this shape in kindergarten.
That's not a polygon.
Why not?
It's not closed.
It is a little open. I did leave it open on purpose. That is not a polygon. Now, if I were to close it, then yes, that's a polygon. So today you're going to be talking about polygons, but we're going to give them special names. And everything you're going to learn today, you're going to have two names. You're going to have a first name and a last name, okay? So the first name of all these polygons is going to be weird. It's either going to be regular or not regular. Or if you wanted to put irregular, same thing. Irregular. There we go. What does the definition, what is the difference between regular and irregular shapes? Well, it's in your book on page 442. If you turn the page on page 442 at the very top there, the difference between a regular and irregular shape is regular means all sides are, big fancy word, congruent. All sides are congruent. What does congruent mean? Yeah, another word you're going to see a lot when it comes to geometry. What does congruent mean? Emma?
That all angles.
Nope, we're not talking about angles. We're talking about all the sides.
They're all the same.
They're all equal. Okay? Equal means congruent. So if you see something, especially in geometry stuff, they talk a lot of times, oh, this is congruent, this is congruent. That means they're the same. They're equal. Now, which means if it's not regular, what does that tell you?
It's not congruent.
Not all way they show you this, when you were in 4th grade, 3rd grade, 2nd grade, a lot of times they give you a shape, and it may be a shape that, just a shape that looks like this, and they say, this side is 3 inches, and that side's 3 inches, and that side's 3 inches, and that side's 3 inches. Right? They may do that. Or they may do it if it was a triangle, they say that one's 2 inches, and that's 2 inches, and that's 2 inches. That makes it easy, okay? But here in 5th grade, they're adding the next step to it. Sometimes they don't do that. Sometimes they do this. They just put little symbols. And what that means is, if this has one line, everything that has one line is the same. So that has one line, that means this side and this side are the same. Which also means this side's the same, and that means they're all the same. If you had something like a rectangle, they may do something like this. Okay, so this line, that's a one line, that's a one line, right? This means these two are the same. This is a 2 line, and that's a 2 line. That means the 2's are the same. But here's the question. Are the 1's the same as the 2's?
No.
If they were the same, they'd both be 1's, right? Okay. Sometimes they may do it like this, where they just go like that. And that tells you the 1 and the 1 are the same, right?
Yeah.
And the 0 and the 0 are the same because there's nothing there. Okay, that's if we're talking about sides. You're going to see also a little bit later, I might as well talk about it now. Sometimes they'll give you something where they do, well, there goes my computer getting real slow on me. Got to give it a second. There we go. Sometimes they'll talk about the angles. Sometimes they'll put a little curve here, like this. And again, it's just like over here where they say one curve is the same as a one curve, right? And that also means that 2 curves will be the same thing as 2 curves, okay? So that's just like doing the 1 lines that we were doing on the sides. Okay, so those 2 are the same, these 2 are the same. Everybody with me so far? Okay. So all of your polygons today are going to have 2 names. First name's either regular or not regular. And then the second name they're all going to have on page 441, it all has to do with the number of sides. So you're going to count the sides. Okay? And we're going to do 5th grade definitions. When you were in kindergarten or maybe even before, you learned what a shape that has 3 sides is called. You would all say it is a
Triangle.
Thank you, a triangle. And I'm going to give you little tips on how some of these work, but a triangle, the reason they call it triangle is because the word tri means 3. Like a tricycle has how many wheels?
3.
3. I have a tripod. Why do they call it a tripod? 3 legs, okay. And in 4th grade, you probably learned this one. What is a 4-sided figure called?
Square.
I was waiting to see. It's not a square. It is a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral. Because is this a square?
No.
But it's got 4 sides.
Not a square.
It's a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral means it has 4 sides. We will get into different types of quadrilaterals tomorrow, but today, if it has 4 sides, it's quadrilateral. I mean, this thing right here has 4 sides. That's a quadrilateral.
Square.
That has 4 sides. It's a quadrilateral. And this is where a lot of people have been making mistakes, is they haven't been counting very good. Count the sides. One that kills me is I see something. Oh, I'll come back to that. 5. If it has 5 sides, it's called a pentagon. How can I remember a pentagon has 5 sides? Penta. Penta has 5 letters. P-E-N-T-A. We're talking about prefixes today. Every one of these has a prefix, and that prefix should tell you how many sides. Penta has 5 letters. All the rest of the prefixes you're going to see today does not have 5 letters. Penta. P-E-N-T-A. Penta has 5 sides, so a pentagon has 5 sides. 6 sides is called a hexagon. How can you remember that a hexagon has 6 sides? Huh? Oh, so you guys all know that hex means 6? What's a trick that can help you remember? Thank you. The letter X. 6 has an X. Hex has an X, okay? It's the only one that has an X, both 6 and hex. 7 is called a heptagon, or sometimes you may see it as a septagon. I don't have any secrets for you on that one. That's just something you got to know, okay? I will give you an explanation a little bit on here in just a second. 8 is called an octagon. How do you know what an octagon is? Oh, you guys all know that the Latin word octo means 8. Thank you. Octopus has 8 arms, right? That's how we know an octopus. Octopus has 8 arms. Why do you think they call it an octopus? If it only had 4 arms, it might have been called a quadrupus. I don't know. Okay. 9. 9 is a nonagon. Nonagon. How do I know a nonagon? What helps me there? I keep doing that. 9 and non both start with N's, exactly. And the last one is a decagon. How do you remember a decagon is 10? Thank you. A decade is 10 years, right? That's why they call it a decade. Decade has 10 years. Now, here's a little history, a little trivia for you. This is called a septagon, and it's 7. Where have you heard septa before? Sept what? I'll spell it differently. September. So September is the 7th month. And guess what? October is the 8th month, and November is the 9th, and December is the... Wait a minute. Wait. So wait, hold on. Wait a minute. December is the 12th month, but deca, which is DEC, means 10. October, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, that's 10. Why would they name the 10th month after the 8th prefix? Or November, which is the 9th month, why would they name the 11th month after the 9th? And September is actually the 9th month. Why would they name the 9th month after the 7th word? Did they just mess up? Oh, why would they do that? They're like, ha ha ha, we'll trick them. We'll name the 10th month after the 8th word, right? They didn't mess up. Here's what happened. The people making the calendar messed up. Because when they made the calendar, originally, there was only 10 months. So that's why the 8th month was October. It went January, February, March, April, May, June, September, October, November, December, because there was only 10 months. And then finally, somebody got smart and said, wait. We need 12 months. So instead of being smart and saying, okay, we need to add 2 more months because we just learned that it takes a whole year, which is 12 months to go around the sun, instead of adding those 2 months at the end, they said, no, let's be smart and just stick them right in the middle. And so they took 2 months, they had to add 2 months to it, and they said, who are we going to name it after? Oh, let's name it after our president, or in their country, it was called their emperors. August and July. You ever hear of Julius Caesar and Augustus Caesar? They were 2 Roman emperors. And so they said, let's name it after these guys. So they put July and August right in the middle of the year and said, we'll just add that to the middle instead of putting them at the end. That's why October, which should be the 8th month, which originally was the 8th month, has been backed up to the 10th month. And November is the 11th. It's all of these got pushed back 2 months. Okay? Having said all that, hopefully that might help you remember all of these, because I told you today everything you're going to be doing has 2 names, right? The first name is either regular or irregular. What is regular? All the sides are congruent. All sides are equal, right? So you're going to look at it and go, yep, they're all the same, regular. Nope, they're not the same. Not regular, regular, not regular, regular. You'll do that the whole page, and then the other part, you're going to count the sides. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means it's a regular. Thank you. You're paying attention. If it had 5 sides, it would be a regular pentagon. And then if I looked at it and said, oh, that's not regular, and then I counted it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that would be a not regular octagon. That's what we're doing today. Online guys, if you have not copied this down, I suggest you copy it down, go back. If you missed any of the other notes or any of the other vocabulary words, you might want to go back and double check those. And rewind the tape and go back and copy all this stuff down because you will need this, okay?